So for our Samba, we need to change into the Samba directory, which is etc Samba, and then the smb.conf. So if we nano smb.conf, this shows us our Samba configuration file, and we can see our shares in here. We've got finance share, HR share, marketing share. Effectively, people who have access are finance, HR, and marketing. Valid users the same. So any members of those groups, effectively. So if we jump out of there, the way we test this is basically logging onto our Windows machine. So in our instances, we've got CLD Win. So we'll connect to CLD Win, which is IP address 566.475.27, 566.475.27, and we'll connect with the finance user. We should be able to open up window. Let's just do it like this. CLD store /finance. Share. And there we go. So we can see the finance share from in there. The next part to show is the storage. The storage happens on the cloud store as well, and it's configured via some cron tab. So if we change, we want to have a look at the cron tab. So let's change our environment for editor, nano, and cron tab space E. So effectively, we're using rsync to do the copy of the storage directory into our mounted Amazon S3 bucket. So if we jump on here, go to our services, have a look at S3. We've got a Globex store bucket, and in there we've got backup, and then we've got our daily, monthly, and weekly. So in here, our daily is taken at 5:30 every day, effectively, and we do an rsync. We archive. We don't copy files that may have been deleted, and the V is we do verbose. We copy from the storage into our store backup, which is our S3 mounted drive on our local file system, and we put it into the daily. So if we should be able to cd store _ backup, and then we can see our daily, monthly tests and our weekly. So this is a view of our S3 bucket effectively. So going back to our cron tab, this is our daily backup, where you can see it's copying from storage up to our storage backup, which is our S3 bucket. The weekly happens at 6. You can see it's happening every Friday, which is the 5th day, and the rsync is exactly the same, except it's taking a copy basically of the daily backup from the same storage location. And then finally we've got our monthly, which happens at 6 a.m. in the morning on the 1st of every month. And that's archiving the files. So we're zipping it up, giving the file name a name of date, and then basically copying from the daily. So we're taking the daily backup from that day, zipping it up, and then storing it up on our S3. The S3, we should be able to see the mounting of the S3 in here as well. So on reboot, we run S3FS, which is an application that gets installed for mounting the S3 buckets. That's the name of the bucket. This is the directory in the bucket that we want to mount. This is our local directory where we want to mount the bucket to. This is a password file where we store our access details from AWS, and this is just the name of the cron job basically. So every time you reboot, it remounts. We didn't use fs tab just found it easier to use cron tab, and it does the same job. Next thing we wanted to show is the VPN. So if we have a look at VPN, we can actually ping 10.10.20.1.10. That's the VPN in Albury, which isn't set up by me, that's set up by the other guys in the group. So if I do a sudo service ipsec status, we can see we've got a tunnel up. I captured some TCP dumps from the main interface on the VPN server, which we can have a quick gander at. So we'll say this one is the one from VPN, and we can see we've got ESP packets between 172.16.1.108 and 110.174.3.1.152. This is the public interface of Amarit's broadband modem in his house, which is basically opened up as a DMZ and is doing port forwarding back into the 10.10.20.10 as being the VPN. So he's using IPCOP that side. I don't have his setup. I don't have access to be able to show you that particular setup, but safe to say that we do have ESP packets being sent between the two sides. Now what else do I have to show you? So the CMS server, so our CMS server is effectively installed with Drupal via turnkey. So if we log on to our server box, we can have a look at our CLD CMS. I don't want to use that because we've set up a CNAME, so we should be able to go http://globex intranet, and we should be able to get our Globex intranet. That CMS is just running on the turnkey Linux, so it's pretty simple. Developers will be able to develop on this. Drupal is a pretty standard CMS package, and that's pretty much everything that's different from the last time we did this assessment. That's pretty much it. Thank you very much.